Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 26th of March. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take somewhat of a day and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at ctchartingthemarkets.substack.com, and it's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, we've got there's a problem with the rally here, and the problem is it's based on nothing. There is no good news. There are no talks. And the American troops are going to the Gulf, and it looks as though they may well be used to take Clark Island. And I've been listening to a lot of military commentary about this possibility, and they mainly say that it's going to be extremely difficult, probably cost a lot of lives, and likely be a complete disaster, which ends with the destruction of everything on Clark Island. So, well, that's not actually an awful lot to be cheerful about. So, I mean, having said that, I mean, just because your news is complete rubbish, hasn't stopped Tesla much of the time. But it's an issue here, and unless we actually start getting some real good news, this rally may be finishing. I would hate to see that happen. I really, really want this rally to happen. I want it to last another week until after Easter, but at the moment, I've got to say, I've been watching the news very, very carefully, and I'm seeing absolutely no reason to think this war is currently ending, or that any serious talks are happening, or that the Iranians even want any kind of a ceasefire, because they're concerned that basically the Americans will just and Israelis will just rearm and set up for the next phase while there is a ceasefire for a month. So they're not seeing why they should agree to one. All right, so in any case, we're seeing a significant decline here on equities. Now, best case, of course, we could go down further, retest this low, set up a potential double bottom, and a larger rally. Got to say that would involve, in all probabilities, some good news, and as I said, I'm not seeing any at the moment. So, but some may arrive. You never know, but that's a thin wisp of hope for a rally. Nonetheless, this is a very good time to have a rally. Historically, next week we've got a holiday week, and that's a very good time to have a rally. One of the most bullish leading weeks of the year. Maybe the rally can muddle through, but I wouldn't be that surprised if it failed. All right. NQ opening down as well, RTY opening down as well. RTY has done the best actually in the rally so far, to the extent where actually I was getting a little concerned on the bigger picture last night that we might actually lose the head and shoulders that are already broken down. This is actually the only one has made it up to the daily middle band. YM pulling down as well. This doesn't look fatal yet. The problem is there's no good news, and in the absence of good news, well, it may be that we're just going to resume what the market was already doing, which was going down a lot. DAX, the same. Could be forming an IHS on DAX, though. ESTX could be forming an IHS here, too. Nikkei. Not really seeing an obvious pattern here. This could just be a bear flag, which is starting to break down now. We shall see. All right, let's have a look at the big picture charts on those. Okay. Obviously not got anywhere close to the daily middle band here. In fact, actually, we have reached an obvious resistance level, which is the backtest of the 200 DMA that was broken last week. I was murmuring that I was a little concerned that might be good resistance, and I'm still a little concerned that might be good resistance. So we're failing there at the moment, and that may continue to be the case. So that would be a classic fail backtest and continue down. Nothing really to say again on the hourly chart or 15-minute chart, so we're just really looking at the dailies. Nice looking double top has broken down, so the downside is yawning below. And again, on Qs, we have broken down below the 200 DMA last week, and we have back tested it. That is an obvious resistance at the level and point of failure, and we're failing there so far. That may continue to be the case. In terms of Dire, I've got the 200 DMA, what's that, 463.13. We broke that, and we're slightly back above it, which is slightly more promising. We do have an RSI 5 buy signal here. That's only halfway to the target. The IWM one has done better. Looking at IWM. Right, IWM, we have made it back to the daily middle band. Again, obviously that's a point of failure. I was voicing concern yesterday about, I think this is about 257.19, and this is the right shoulder high, and I would like to not see that broken, because we've already got a head and shoulders which is broken down with a target in the 216 area, which is a nice target. So we will see. We've got a daily buy signal here too. That's actually got pretty close to the possible near miss target, but not there yet. It may still make target on a stronger rally if we actually get some real good news, or if there's more BS from the administration, which boosts the market. But I'm wondering whether we can get the rally I'd really like to see here, which would last into the end of next week. In terms of DAX on the daily, again, we've had a modest rally. We lost the positive divergence on the RSI 5. We've got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed on Nikkei. And got a potential double bottom here, actually. It's not bad, but we'd really need some good news for that to deliver. I suspect we're just forming a bear flag, as we are likely on the others. All right, let's have a look at DX. And I'm doing a post about this today, but I'll talk briefly about what the post is about. I was saying that the obvious low for the current bull flag, which is likely to be forming, was here at this trend line, which was tested. So it does look as though we might be about to break up from the flag. We will see how that goes, but the bigger picture, not a lot to see on the other currencies on the hourly charts, really, apart from USD CAD, where obviously we broke up from the bear flag, and on Australian dollar, where we are starting to break down from this head and shoulders that has been forming. This is suggesting that dollar's going to have a move, and that's not particularly bullish for equities, and I'll show you why. All right. Okay, we've seen in the Iran war so far that we have been seeing dollar going up, and we've been seeing bonds going down, and we've seen gold going down. Now, gold actually, I'm thinking may well. I'll show you the flags on it, but I've got nice looking overall bull flags here on silver and gold, and I've been thinking that we were likely to be forming bull flags before a move up. So I think gold may go up, the bonds may go down, but this is, I've drawn a chart. I'm doing a post about this move up from the low in 2022. Now, this is when Russia invaded Ukraine. This was basically the last oil crisis. You can see oil spiked immediately and made a high shortly afterwards. We invaded on 22nd of February, 7th March. Oil peaks, although it comes back and retests that in June, which is when inflation peaks at 9.1%. Now, inflation was already at about over 7%. Mainly, the inflation was not about the Ukraine war, and it wasn't about the oil price. Mainly, it was about all the vast flood of spending, too much spending after COVID. So this was when inflation peaked, and then oil comes gradually down from there, which is what it tends to do. We're not likely to see oil go back to the pre-war prices anytime soon. There will be a risk premium, whatever happens, pretty much for a year or two, I would have thought. And there may well be full retests of the current highs, and also should see retests across the board, because we do have bull flags. They've all broken up on the oils. But heating oil has already made the a retest of the 2022 high. Really, I'm expecting to see all of the others. But the point I want to make here on dollar is that this was the invasion. Dollar was at about 95.5, and you can see it went up over 20% to the current high for the decade, which is 114.78. Now, in terms of the overall here, we've got a bull flag set up here. If the Iran war continues and is not going particularly well, i.e. we have oil shock and all the rest of the crap that could happen here, is it credible that we could get back to the retest of 114.78? Well, looking at 2022, yeah, it is. I mean, this was actually far more minor in terms of impact on oil than the start of the Ukraine war was. That was a relative minnow to what we're looking at now. So I'm thinking, yeah, I think that is very much on the table. And if it goes badly, then that is the obvious place for it to go. Because this is like the patterns on oils. I was looking around to see if I could think of a reason why these might make target, and I couldn't see one, but I can see one now. This Iran war could deliver the US dollar up to that retest. And as I was saying, we got monthly on the bigger picture last night. We've got a monthly RSI 5 buy signal here. We've got 7 sell signals and 5 previous buy signals. They all made target. fact, I think they all made the full target. These have a very, very good track record. And this is one reason I've kept looking at this, even though I just couldn't see any reason why this was going to make target. We now have one, and I think it will do it. UUSD, we've got a nice looking bear flag here, nice looking double top within that flag. GBP USD, same thing again. We've got some very, very nice patterns setting up for a big move up in the dollar. And the Iran war, it looks as though, may well give us the impetus to do that. All right, let's have a look at, hang on. All right, let's have a look at bonds. Now, bonds, obviously, I'm not going to show the bigger picture triangles, but I'm expecting this to go down after a rally here. This kind of looks like a bear flag. This might be done now. It could see an extension of a week, form a large flag, but this looks like a bear flag, and I'm expecting it to break down. ZN, we have a potential double bottom here that could break up. We've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed, the one on ZB had made target. We'll see how that develops, but I'm thinking this could go a bit higher, and ideally, while equities were also rallying, we will see whether that's going to happen. Okay, looking at the oils. Now, oil, we've been seeing some move up overnight, and that's because there really is no good news on the Iran war, and it obviously is going to have a big impact. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. The Iranians, such as they've said anything at all about possible talks, have said that they want to basically charge tolls on everything going through it after any ceasefire, and as part of a long-term peace deal. That's going to be very hard for the US to swallow, particularly Trump, who has a fragile ego and no real sense of reality. So this is going up at the moment. Kind of looks like a bear flag. I'm thinking we might see some more downside here, but I'm optimistically looking around for reasons why we might see this rally continue, because I'd like to see my head and shoulders, right shoulders, form on SPX and on Dire. So we'll see how that goes. But at the moment, it's looking as though we might be returning back to the highs. This is Brent crude. All of these seem to be a bit disconnected from real prices at the moment. That will catch up, and that will push up prices as well. HO has actually made a new all-time high already. RBOB is likely on the way, and that is considerably higher. NG has not really been affected by the war at all, and may not be. While we've got a big impact on liquid natural gas, really, that's not what this natural gas price is. And I don't see a future for liquid natural gas. I was wondering whether this would have any impact at all. So far, it's really had nothing. I mean, in terms of the moves we typically see on natural gas, really, really nothing. So looking at precious metals, GC. Now, we had the first move down, I was looking for a lower low, I was looking for possible flags to form, and I'll show you on the bigger picture charts, but we've got that formed on GC, SI. We saw the lower lows on palladium, we saw them on platinum, so I'm thinking if these are bull flags, then these may well be done. This is a beautiful bull flag channel on gold, and I'm thinking this may well be the low and setting up a retest and potentially a continuation higher. We saw a pretty good retracement here from 5,600 to 4,100. That may be it. If we look at silver, I've got another nice flag here. It's really not bad. And I'm thinking we may be going up from here. And again, this halved basically from the high, very slightly less than. So again, pretty good setup, classic bull flag target. Platinum, palladium, I'm thinking may well be the same. So I'm thinking we may turn back up on precious metals. In terms of HG, I'm not expecting this to be a beneficiary of the Iran war if that is going to continue and get worse. I'd be leaning towards this going to the downside. I'm leaning towards this being a bullish consolidation, although there could be an IHS setting up to go a bit higher. And as I said, I would love it if equities could rally into Easter. We shall see how it goes. All right, great. Let's have a look at the other commodities. KC doesn't look like anything at the moment, but it does look as though this might have some legs to go further higher. I'm looking ideally for some kind of a reversal pattern. Haven't really got one so far that looks credible. I mean, I could draw one, but it wouldn't look credible to me. SB, we've got 60-minute sell signal fixed. I think this looks like a bullish consolidation. CC, this looks like move up flag, so I'm leaning towards seeing a retest this high just under 3,500, but it could just fell straight back into the low. CT, this looks like a bull flag that's breaking up, but I'm wondering if this could be an ABC. Cotton, wheat, and corn I was singling out yesterday because all three of these have very strong bullish patterns, double bottoms that may play out, and may play out because of fertilizer that's not coming from the Persian Gulf at the moment. So I've got those. Those are the three patterns which really at the end of the year I was wondering if they were going to play out and why they. I'm looking for reasons why they might play out. Were oil, US dollar, and these three: cotton, corn, and soy. And I'm wondering if they're all going to play out over the next few months. Lumber, we've had a sharp pullback from the high. I'm thinking we might see a retest this high, but it wouldn't be to set up a double bottom. Could be forming a larger flag. But really, I'm thinking the downtrend may just resume. And send this lower. On wheat, this looks like bullish consolidation. On corn, this looks like a bullish consolidation. On soy, I'm wondering about this being an overall bull flag forming, which this would be a little bear flag here. Set up, go down, make the target, give us an ABC down. Wondering about a bull flag forming there. ZL, I'm wondering if we might see the same. Live cattle, bull flag is broken up. I'm looking for a retest of the high, and HE has gone down far enough. It doesn't need to go down any further, though it could. But if this is a bull flag, this would be a pretty good time to start on the way back up again. All right, let's have a quick look at questions. All right, great. In that case, no questions. I think that's a wrap, guys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. I will be crossing my fingers and hoping this rally can find something to rally on. But at the moment, the real problem with this rally is there is no good news. And if that doesn't change, then we may actually just resume the downtrend. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, that's a wrap. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning.